Welcome to the Chris Hope Show, where this is a very special edition of the Chris Hope Show, where we're going to have the opportunity to bring on a special guest. And when I say special, I do mean special. I met her a few years ago, and she did something fantastic, and we was able to be a part of it. We mean the Chris Hope Foundation. And we are now here back again, like the songwriter said, reunited.
Feels good.
Yeah. Exactly. So I am happy to have her here to tell her story and talk to you about what it is that she has going on so you can be a part of it. A very sensitive subject, and is one that a story you probably have never ever heard, but at the same time you'd be like, golly, you'd be amazed at all the different things that people go through. So she is here to tell her story and talk about the other adventures that she has going on. As you see, she has this nice, pretty T-shirt on that she did not bring an extra for your boy Chris Hope, but that's okay. We're gonna do the recording for her anyway. So welcome to the show, Arthur.
Yes.
Music licensing.
That seems pretty cool, doesn't it?
That seems pretty cool.
Arthur Shantrael Taylor, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
You have big smiles on your face. You look very happy. You look excited. What's been going on with you?
I'm happy to be here, actually. What's been going on with me? I have been healing.
Okay.
Yeah, healing and giving God glory
Okay.
and inspiring.
Inspiring.
Yeah, and giving hope. I'm calling myself the hope dealer.
The Hope Dealer.
The hope dealer.
I had nothing to do with that.
No.
But I do like the sound of it. I like her choice of words there. The Hope Dealer. So why the Hope Dealer?
Because I've been through a lot of trauma and devastation, losing 2 kids with critical illnesses within 4 years of themselves losing them. And that'll take you out.
Yes.
Losing your career because you're having to be everything you need to be.
Right.
And I pushed myself to elevate the care standards of my children and to elevate the care of anyone that I give. So that takes a lot out of you. So I'm teaching people how to do that and how to show up for ourselves and for the people that we're caring for. So in the midst of the trauma, in the midst of the grief, God is still doing all good things. And he's
Awesome.
called me to show people how to live well. And you can suffer well, but you can live well too. So I'm dealing hope.
Suffer well. Okay. I like that. I like that. So let's go back in history.
Yes.
From when we first met.
Yes.
All right. So tell the people how you connected with Chris Hope and the Chris Hope Foundation,
Okay.
because it's pretty wonderful.
Yeah. So my son Jackson.
I'm gonna move your mic up a little bit
Okay.
closer to you.
My son Jackson was a part of the Koala Hospice team.
Right.
And you support LaBonner and the team really well. And my son Darren was a part of the team as well. And you came first to Darren's drive-by birthday party.
I remember that.
And then you attended Jackson's first birthday party. And when Darren passed away on November 12th, 2021, we as a family always do hope, and we always move by faith, not by sight. And we had a van, and Jackson was a little baby, and we didn't need a van. And it was my want to donate that to someone else because people need help and people need inspiration and people just need people to show up.
Right.
We just need to show up for people. Right. And so we partnered, and I donated to the van to a fellow hospice parent, and you were a part of that with us. So that's how we connected.
Yeah. So explain. So you had this van. This was your personal van.
This was our personal family vehicle for our son. Darren was not neurotypical. He had a traumatic brain injury. And you had to have a van. Wheelchairs, you need a van.
Right.
And so this was our family van. And so Jackson was one. So he's a little guy. He
Right.
didn't need a van.
So
at
what was
time.
that discussion with? I mean, what was that discussion like? Like, you know what? I think I want to get rid of the van and give it to somebody. Was hubby like, oh no, I'm keeping my van?
No, we are a great partnership.
Okay. Whose idea was it?
It was my idea.
It was your idea.
Yeah. So my husband said, Shantrael, you'll give everything away. And I said, yes, I will, but we'll get it back tenfold. We have never went without. So it was my idea, and he supports really well, and he sees my heart, and he also has a heart of gold. So I was like, hey, what if we bless somebody with this out of our loss, out of our grief, out of our trauma? Something beautiful has to come from this.
Right.
And let's do it. And we actually did it on my husband's Daryl's birthday.
Okay. I don't know if I
Literally,
remember that.
It was 4 days after Darren passed. Is Daryl's birthday, November 16th.
Okay.
And we gave the van away on November 16th.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So what was the reaction to the family that you donated the van to?
So
Tell that story.
Yeah, so I have a business. I have my God Said No. It's our story. It's our lifestyle. It's ever changing. And this particular parent was a follower of ours, and
Right.
she really supported, and I gave her hope. And it's also very humbling to think that I have people that look up to me, because I'm just going to be honest. When you're in this community, sometimes you feel like you're wearing a scarlet letter.
Mm-hmm.
And the looks you get from people when you're pushing wheelchairs or you're bringing out suction machines, it can often mess with your confidence. But if you're rooted, no. But sometimes, it can affect how you're coming about in the world.
Right.
And so Dr. Cheryl was just
Great Dr. Cheryl
shout out
Ferguson.
to
Yeah,
Dr.
yeah.
Cheryl. She knew of a family, and I talked to her about that. I was like, hey, I know I'm going to want to donate this van. Do you know? She was like, yes, I know.
Sure. Everything, everybody. Yeah.
And she's like, not telling you too much information, but this person actually really looks up to you and follows God Said No, and you inspire and give hope to her. And I was like, let's do it. Let's go.
Awesome. Yeah. So, one of the things that I've learned is that when you're out here in the community doing things, you'll never know who's watching you.
Mm-hmm.
You never know who you're inspiring to do better, be better, or get involved in, whether it's your ministry or maybe even starting up their own.
Yeah.
So you definitely have to put your best foot forward and think about the fact that, whatever you do, people got eyes on you.
Yeah.
They might not always say anything because most times they won't, but they are watching. You never know whose life that you are touching.
Yeah.
So shout out to you and hubby for doing something like that, because for most people it would be a tough decision to give a car away. They may sell a car, but to say, hey, here it is. No oil leaks, air conditioner work, tires are good.
My husband detailed that van.
Yeah, he took that because that was going to be my plan. Because I told Cheryl, I said, yeah, we'll get it. I take it to my guy, we get it detailed, look real good. I'm like, no, you don't have to do none of that.
He did. He worked all night detailing that van. When we give something, we're not just giving you something. It's
Right.
something. We proud of giving you this.
Right.
And one thing that made me know that this was right and made my heart smile was this family never rode together before.
Really?
Really.
Wow.
And this is the first time that they were going to be able to travel somewhere as a family.
As a family. Wow.
Yeah.
You did that. Well, y'all did that.
God did that.
God did that.
Yeah.
There you go. There
I'm
you go.
just obedient.
Right. There it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so your story is rooted both deep loss
Yes.
and incredible strength. As she takes a deep breath.
Yeah.
So can you share what led you to create God Said No and how that moment shifted your title's purpose?
Yes. So in 2015, my heart son, and you won't ever hear that term again, just so we'll know this is my heart son. He suffered a traumatic brain injury, and I became an instant mother to him. He was neurotypical Darren, neurotypical traumatic brain injury. And I was thrusted into a community that I knew nothing about. We were in our 20s. We were married 2 years. And I had a choice to make. I had a choice to honor my vows and show up or bail out. And there's never a bailout.
Yeah.
You know, people don't realize that when you say for better or worse, you don't know what that worse is.
That's a good point. That's true.
Yeah, but when it's time for that worse to come, you don't bail on your partner. You don't bail on your family. And so God Said No was rooted from trauma and pain and not really having a place that felt safe to talk about it. I'm very aware of emotions and how some conversations can be heavy. And so I never want to come into a space or with someone that's feeling good. And when I'm talking about my story and my real life, that can bring you down.
Right.
And so I needed a safe place, and I needed people to understand that you're not alone. People are going through things, and just because it's not going your way doesn't mean it's not going God's way.
Good point.
And so God Said No was launched April 26, 2021. It was to give hope. And our story was that God said no to the life that we thought we were going to live. But this version can be equally as beautiful.
Right.
And saying no isn't always a negative. Example, you stopped at a red light and you're running late. Man. But then you get down the street and you see a catastrophic accident.
Right.
God said no,
Right.
and he stopped you at this light.
Right.
You know, and
Yeah.
you're, so.
It's funny because I tell myself that all the time, like, you got these two cars, what I call holding hands. They driving slow, side by side. I call it holding hands. It's like, move out the way. I'm trying to get going. But then I have that thought, like you just said, like, okay, there may be a reason why
Yes.
I'm stuck behind these two slow
Absolutely.
pokes, why I'm back here having a fit trying to get
Yes.
somewhere. There may be a reason he may be keeping me from having an accident or witnessing an accident or whatever the case may be. So, yeah, I feel you on that totally.
And so it's our story. God Said No is our story. I had big plans. There was something totally different.
So what were your big plans?
So I'm a CPA by trade.
Okay.
And I was
Ooh,
going
shout
to
out to you for that. Woo. Yeah, I don't want no part of that.
Yes, so
shout
I
out
was
to Jody.
going to be a CFO of a Fortune 500
Really?
company, jet setting the world. You know, I love to travel, so I was expected to be on a flight, catching flight, not feeling it,
Yeah.
And so those were my plans. Being a mother was not in my plan.
Really?
Absolutely, it was not.
This person that I know
Yes.
and see right here in front of me, hearing all of these things,
Yes.
witnessing all these things, did
Yes.
not plan to be a parent.
Did not plan to be a parent,
wow.
but God said no, right?
You're like, that's what you think. I'm going to give you some kids, girl.
Yes, you're gonna be a mother
Yeah.
by force, by choice, and that's been one of the most beautiful things that's ever happened to me, actually.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
Why didn't you want to be a mom? Because you was ambitious. You had these career goals
Yes,
and
I
all
had
of
these
that.
career goals. I didn't want to be a selfish parent. And
Okay.
so I knew I wanted to jet set. I'm an avid concerter.
Mm-hmm.
I love to go. I love to travel. I wanted to see the world. I wanted to, being a CFO of a Fortune 500 company, that takes time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't want to take that time away from parenting.
Gotcha.
So I didn't want to be a selfish parent. So I just said that wasn't something that I was going to do. But God said no.
So tell me about your kids, of course.
Yes.
I mean, this is up to you
Yeah.
to share. So what is it they were diagnosed with, and diagnosed at what age, and then what was their age when they got their angel wings?
Yes. So Darren was 5 years old when he suffered his traumatic brain injury.
Okay.
And that was on July 4th, 2015.
That's not a hard day to remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's also my heart mom, my mother-in-law's birthday as well. So that happened. And he suffered a stroke and several seizures.
At 5 years old.
At 5 years old.
Wow.
Yes, and we lived in Washington State at that point.
Okay.
My husband was active duty military.
Okay.
And I was moving up that corporate ladder. And this happened in Kentucky. And so I lived in the Ronald McDonald House for 6 months. Yeah, I made a choice to stand by the vows and to honor what we needed. And so he was in the hospital in rehabilitation for 6 months from July 4th, 2015 to December 11th, 2015 is when we were released, and we came back home to Memphis because my husband was offered a humanitarian transfer to Millington Base, Navy Base.
Okay.
And so the military took very good care of us, very good care of us.
Awesome.
And so I made a decision actually Darren made that decision. We were in therapy one day, in his inpatient therapy, and they said, "Where's your mom?" And I was like, wait, I'm not mom, I'm bonus. And he pointed at me. And I said, I was like, okay, well, I'm mom.
I'm mom.
And so from then on, I was mom. And so career done.
Right.
I'm mom. And at that point, they said with the brain injury, you have about 2 years to just give it everything you have to recover everything you can. And I looked at him, and our family thing is you fight, we fight.
Yeah.
But when you don't want to fight anymore, then that's okay. And so we made that pact. And so that's where we started. 2015, July. That's when we started in this world, in the medical fragile world. And
Medical
so,
fragile. Okay,
yes.
I've never heard it like that.
Yes,
Okay.
medically fragile world. And it was a lot to be thrusted in my 20s. You know, I'm going into my 30s.
Right.
And learning this terminology, trying to still show up in all the spaces, places, but I'm not that same girl anymore. So I kind of had to figure it out.
Yeah.
And so I did.
Right.
And Darren was doing all the things. He was learning to walk again. He was saying words. We were moving and grooving. And then puberty comes. And he had epilepsy, but it was medically refractory. So that means nothing worked.
Wow.
And so seizures, hundreds of seizures a day. And that was hard to watch, but we fight, you fight. And
they come and you can't predict
Ever.
or there's no sign of it happening. It just happens.
It just happens,
Yeah.
and you have to move with it.
Right.
And I'm a person that thrusts myself into whatever it is I'm doing. I'm going to do it well. I'm going to give it everything I have. And that's what I did. And so in 2019, we decided, Daryl and I, that we were going to try ourselves. And I got pregnant with Jackson, and Daryl called him our redemption son.
Oh, really?
Yes. And my pregnancy was beautiful.
Okay.
However, COVID came.
Got you.
COVID came, and so pregnancy for me was different. The world shut down.
Right.
Everything shut down, but I was prepared and I was excited. However, my birthing story did not go as planned. And so Jackson was perfect in my womb. I was perfect until we were not. We were I'm thinking of the word I want to use. We were let down. We were not given the best care. and Jackson was stuck.
Oh,
Yeah, he was stuck for a very long time.
so he was oxygen deprived.
Yes,
Yeah.
so he his official diagnosis, which HIE, which means he went a very long time without oxygen. But my son, both of them, were fighters, warriors, and superheroes.
Look at the face of this proud
Yes.
mom. Proud mom.
Yeah, so my nickname is Mama Lion.
Okay.
Because this voice is soft, but don't play with me about my babies now. And
I love
so, actually, he was born dead, and they resuscitated him for 25 minutes. And as they were resuscitating,
So he was already without oxygen for
11.
11. And then they had to do this for another 25, which
Yes.
brings it up to 35 minutes, which
Yes.
is a extremely long
Extremely
time.
long time. Yes, extremely long time.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they worked on it for 25 minutes.
Yes. And they were getting ready to call time of death. But my husband was praying, and he asked them to move because he felt like his prayers weren't connecting. He hadn't seen Jackson for real. And he was like, can you just move because I need to see him to call his name so God can hear me. And they shrugged their shoulders, and they were just like, okay. And they started calling time of death. As soon as my husband saw him and that prayer connected,
Oh, wow.
what did we hear?
Oh, wow.
Beep, beep, beep.
What a story. What a story.
Yes, beep beep, and Jackson was here, and not without a lot of challenges, right?
Right, of
And
course,
So,
of course.
we didn't see him for a while. He was born at 11:05 p.m. On July 25th. I didn't lay eyes on him till around 4 a.m. Yeah, because some things happened, so we didn't get to see him.
Right.
Yeah, and when I did,
Now, this was a full term, right?
full term.
Okay.
Full term pregnancy. Yes, full term. When I saw him, he had a smile on his face, and I've never seen him smile again.
Really?
Yes, because Jackson had so many challenges. He never ate by mouth. He had a tracheostomy after I saved his life on the hood of my car on November 12th, 2020.
All right. So
Yeah.
you gotta break that down. What happened that you had to have this kid on the hood of your car?
So
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's a lot, So we were in the hospital, and I asked him to be moved to Lebanon. I needed him to be moved.
Where was he?
He was at Baptist.
Baptist, okay.
Baptist, and so I knew from my previous experience as a medical mom that he needed extensive care, and he needed to be at a level 4 trauma center, and he needed to be at Lebanon. So I requested him to go, and they obliged. And once he got there, things started changing and trending in the right direction.
Of course.
And he was a fighter, and he fought. And so he was released from the hospital out of the NICU at the end of September. And we struggled with secretion management. He came with the G2. We had all of the things, right? And my husband was deployed again. 2 weeks after Jackson was born, he was shipped out. So medical mama, carrying all of this stuff, right? Like I'm taking care of Darren, that's medically fragile. I'm at the NICU all day, and then at home with him all night. And my support team was supporting, so my parents, everyone was pitching in and helping. But because this was COVID, no one could come to the hospital.
Oh,
So it was only me.
Never a break, no breaks.
No, I can only go. I was the only one allowed to go.
Well, what about work for you?
Yeah.
I mean, because you still have your bills, you still got those things to take care of. So were they based on what hubby brought in, or I mean?
So right before Jackson was born, because of COVID, and I worked in the hospitality industry, I was let go. Yeah, I was let
okay.
go. And so I'm a CPA, so I always make it as though we only lived on one income.
Okay.
And so we were able to live on the one income, and I was able to just show up for my son.
Gotcha.
And was it hard? Yes.
Of course.
But God, I mean, supplied. We have never lacked, even when it appeared like we should have. We didn't.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
We didn't. We didn't. So Jackson came home, and we came home on hospice, and it was difficult because Darren was medical, but Jackson was a different kind of medical. And so one day I decided I needed to run to Walmart because I was stressing and my body wasn't producing milk as much as it needed to. And I needed to introduce formula. And I ran to Walmart and I took him with me. And I'm checking on him the whole time, suctioning. And we're leaving Walmart. And something says, look at him again, though I just looked at him.
Right.
And I looked at him again, and he was blue.
Goodness.
He was blue. And I looked in his eyes, and I didn't see life. And so in my mind, it flashed that you can either put him in your car and you go to the hospital. But if he's not dead already, he's going to be dead by the time I make it.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Because he already been pronounced dead once.
Yeah.
At birth.
Yes. And I'm looking, and I don't see life in his eyes. And so what popped up in my head is an episode of Grey's Anatomy.
Wait a minute. You didn't stick a pin in his chest or anything like that? Okay. All right.
I took my baby out the car seat. I put him on the trunk of my car. I did stick a suction machine in his mouth, but I went to work performing CPR, breathing for him. And I mean, I started, in between breath, I started screaming, please help. My baby's not breathing. Call 911. I can't count how many people walk past me.
Are you serious?
I am serious.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Because there's no way you can suction, do CPR, and call 911 at the same time. And people actually walked past you.
Many people.
Many people.
Many people. It was the young lot attendant who came over and was like, ma'am, you need help. I was like, please call 911.
Yeah.
He's not breathing. And he was so nervous, but he stayed there with me. I called Paige. Shout out to Paige. She was our palliative care nurse.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't know what to do, but I got to get off the phone with you because I have to save his life.
Right.
And I kept going with CPR. And all of a sudden, I look at him, and I see life in his eyes. I'm like, he's breathing, and I'm looking at his stomach, and I see his chest rising and falling, and I brought him back to life.
Did you bust out into tears?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Because we weren't stable yet. So
Okay.
I'm Mama Lion. No time for tears.
No time for tears.
We have to be stable. So I couldn't bust out in tears until we were stable.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay.
And so literally a year later, on that same day, is when Darren passed away.
Really?
November 12th, 2021. A year later, on that exact same day, Darren passed away.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
At what age?
At 11.
At 11.
Yes, 11.
Wow.
Yeah, 11 years old.
Whew.
A lot.
What a story.
It's more. It's later. Right? It's
You
later.
said that's just part of it, huh?
That's just part of it.
Oh my goodness.
We'll be here all month.
Woo, woo, woo. Well, the podcast don't record that long.
You gotta hit the high points.
Wow.
But God said no,
Yeah.
God said no on November 12th, 2020. He said no to death at that point. And in that was just a lot. That was a lot. And Daryl had just made it home. And with Daryl, I have to apologize to him all the time because I feel like I am like the doom and gloom because I'm the one who always have to call him and deliver the news to him. Like it's always me.
That's not your
right?
fault though.
It's not, but
Yeah.
I don't want that. Like,
Yeah.
so now, like a trigger response when I call him. Sometimes he's like, "Is everything okay?"
Oh gosh.
You know, and I'm
Yeah,
just
he
like,
probably get the phone and be like,
yeah.
oh crap. Oh,
And so
please,
sometimes,
please.
yep, I'll text him. I'm gonna call you, but everything's okay. You know, just to support because your body and your mind remembers, but your brain has to catch up to it. And you know, so though it's not every day that something's happening, our body remembers what it's like.
Yeah.
You know, to get these calls.
So you've experienced traumatic brain injury, NICU life, the loss of your sons. So how did you find the strength to keep going and going during your darkest moments?
God be the glory. And I created, God said no, and a community that I can kind of, it was healing too. For me to talk about it, and for me, I blog and I did YouTube videos
Okay.
still.
Okay.
But God said no, creating, having a space.
When did you start that?
April 26, 2021.
Well, shout out to you for remember exact dates because if you was to ask me that question, you just would have got the year.
But I'm a CPA, right? So numbers are my thing.
You would have just got the year. I was back in 2025. We're back in 2022.
You know, but that date was important to me. That was my big mama's birthday.
Okay.
And she was very influential in my life.
You have a lot of dates that happened on the same day.
Yeah.
It's not just it was so and so's birthday. It was like this was so and so's birthday, and this was also this.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
This was when my son was born. It was also this.
Yes.
You know, you have
Yes.
double stories
Yes.
on certain dates.
Yes.
which
So
is- which
I
is
have another
something.
date with April 26th, but we'll get there.
Oh, well, since we're there, go ahead and put it out.
Yeah,
Unless it's
so-
book related. Is it
No,
book related?
it's not
Okay.
book related. Shout out to Nolan Kai Taylor. Was born April 26, 2024.
Okay.
He will be 2
Okay.
next month, and that's
Hold
our
on, hold on.
youngest son.
Healthy.
Healthy.
No drama.
No
No
drama.
situation. No bad diagnosis.
No, because the thing about Darren and Jackson, it wasn't something that they were born with.
Right.
It was something that happened.
That
to
happened
them.
to them. Yeah.
So it wasn't a hereditary condition.
Right.
It wasn't, a genetic condition. It was something happened to them.
Right.
And so nothing happened to Nolan. We got through
Okay.
it
So
too.
okay, I get so. With your previous son, you said you had the perfect pregnancy.
Yes.
Everything was great with him.
Yes.
He was great in the womb.
He was perfect.
Yeah, and you had a great pregnancy until
Until.
you got to the table.
Until I got to the
So did you have a certain type of anxiety or nervous? Because you're a praying mom, so I know you was praying like
Yes.
crazy.
Yes.
So did you have a certain anxiety when it came to the point of delivering this son?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. Hardly anyone knew I was pregnant.
Really?
Yes, because privacy is not secrecy, it's stewardship.
Mm-hmm.
And because of what that looked like before, I kind of wanted to keep it close to my chest.
Okay.
Because I just wanted to have my own space and to revel in this.
Mm-hmm.
And only a few people knew, or if you saw me, or most people found out at the baby shower invitation.
Dad, you talk about keeping it low key on the down low. Gee whiz.
Yes, we just kind of held it, because I didn't want to. I wanted to keep that for us,
Yeah.
and I wanted to enjoy this.
Right.
I wanted to enjoy this. I had a new doctor, and we had a plan, and she did exactly what she said she was going to do.
Awesome.
And Nolan came here healthy and strong, and I call him 2.0 because he is the version of both my boys on 2.0 version.
Gotcha. Now, how old is Nolan now?
Nolan is 1, but
1.
he will be 2 on April 26th.
Okay, on April 20th, which is right around the corner.
Yes.
Which is right around the corner.
And God says no birthday. God said no, will be 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, so families navigating complex medical journeys
Yes.
or grief just like you.
Yes.
What are some of the most important things you've learned that you wish more people understood?
I created what people needed because it wasn't there. I remember coming home from the hospital and I asked Dr. Cheryl, is there a calendar? Is there a support? Is there a tool that I can use to keep up with all these appointments, all of these things, my feelings, my things? So I created it. I created what I saw was missing and what I needed in hope that I could help other people. I never do things just for me.
Uh-huh.
And my word is obedient. I'm obedient to what the Spirit tells me to do, and I move.
Right.
When He tells me to move, I move.
You
and
move.
I move
Right.
expeditiously.
Right.
And so, how I made it through these darkest hours was being a mama lion. There's no quit. And my family is just rooted in, we're going to see this through. And so you just have to. You one foot in front of the other, minute to minute, not even hour to hour, not even day to day. But I created something that I used that saved my kid's life. And it's going to save a lot of people's lives going forward.
So, speaking of creating,
Oh,
when I introduced you, I said author.
author.
So you decided to write a book,
I did.
and you created the Evolution of Care Handbook.
I created the Elevation of Care. Handbook, I would say care planner.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
I created Elevation of Care, and this is, when you ask me how I made it, this is how I made it. I am in therapy. I am an advocate for therapy.
Okay.
Twice a week, and find you a good person. I pray, yes. However, I need tools, and I created the tool. And so, Elevation of Care is the tool that I use. At first, I needed to check on myself first, because before I go and I checked on the boys or I check on anybody, you need to know about you.
Right.
And my life coach, shout out to Keisha, she has this thing called battery checks that we would do, and it's like just check in on me. And
Okay.
so I include that in my
Everybody
everyday.
needs that.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
that's part of my book. Like, what is my stress level? Because if I'm at a 5 when I wake up, when I go to Jackson, my care is going to be different. So I need to check me first.
There
so
you
if
go.
I'm at a
There you
5,
go.
what do I need to do for myself to get myself regulated?
Right.
And did I sleep well? Do I need to ask for help? Because today is not a good day. It's checking on myself and checking me and making sure I'm in a good space before I ever touch my children, before they ever encountered me. I needed to make sure that Mama Lion is in her rightful position.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So you have the book.
I have the book.
Let's take a look at the book.
Okay, this
Yes.
is the book.
Yeah, that is the
This
book.
the
So
book.
bring it over a little bit. There you go.
Okay, this is
Yeah.
the book.
Okay.
And it's month to month, because
Okay.
in a medically fragile family, we can't think about next year, because
Right.
we may not make it to next year.
You might not make it to next week.
We not, and facts,
Mm-hmm.
and so Elevation of Care is hard work. And for May, this is May, and I'm gifting this to Chris.
Hey, I get a book. I don't get a T-shirt, but I get a book.
He's gonna get a T-shirt. We're making sure Chris gets a T-shirt, because I still wear my Chris Hope Foundation T-shirt.
Look at you. That's what's
Yes,
up.
with
That's
with
what's
the
up.
smart car on the front. And so, how you use this is, I wrote a whole forward. And can I read this?
Yes.
I want
Yes.
to read this.
So
because
look at that camera right
Okay.
there.
This is really important to me, and this is why this was created. And so, my prayer is that this elevates you. Elevation of Care is obtainable, and you cannot care without your heart being front and center. So, this planner we will nurture ourselves as we nurture the people we love the most. I get to bring this to you because of some super miraculous people in my life. Darren, Jackson, and Grams have elevated me to a level where I can elevate the care that they receive from me. If my life is anything like yours, chaos is all around. With this tool, you can turn chaos into ease. The love I have for my sons transformed me while caring, and it transformed me in wanting to show up for a better version of myself. In turn, I'm showing up for them at an elevated capacity, and I want the same for you. The elevation of care will take you to your caregiving to the highest level, connecting and bridging the gap between loved ones, nurses, hospitals, and friends. With this tool, we can advocate, create, and identify the best way to care for ourselves as we care for others. Love is more than a noun, it's a verb. It's an action. It's more than a feeling. It's caring, sharing, helping, and self-serving. Hope Dilla.
And you came over with that all by yourself.
I did.
All by
did.
yourself.
I
No,
did.
no AI.
No,
Just you.
AI wasn't around really.
Oh,
when
that's
I
a
wrote
good
this
point.
book.
That's a good point. That's a good point. That's awesome. That's awesome.
So you, it's a care plan, right? And so how we use this book is part one is insight. So for Jackson, your teammate contact is everybody that was in. So this is digital as well.
Okay.
And so there's a digital version as well as a print version. I'm a writer.
I was just saying I would use the print because I'm
Yes.
old school and I like to write
I
it down.
need pen to paper.
Yeah.
you
The
know?
digital thing is cool,
It's
but
cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm all about pen and
Pen
paper
to
too.
paper.
Yeah.
And so your teammate is anybody that's connected. Jackson's nurses, Darren's nurses, our parents, myself, Daryl. These would be the teammates. And so diagnosis, allergies, baseline. For medical families, baseline means how is our children on the day-to-day basis. That's baseline. For neurotypical families, that's your child normal standards. But for medically fragile families, baseline is our keyword. And so that's care plan part one, the insight. Part two is healing. So when you have medically fragile kids, that comes with a lot of medications. And Jackson had 17 medicines.
Good gracious.
And I knew every one of them by heart, by dose, by you Mama Lion.
Mama Lion.
Mama Lion, right? And so, but everybody can't do that, right? And so I made this. So, medications, dosage, time, start, end, explanation of why. That's important. Because I meet some parents and they're like, my child's on this. Why?
Why?
They don't know.
Because the doctor said so.
The doctor said
Yeah,
so.
right.
But I use this term narrative medicine. So me and my medical team, we talk. It's a team. It's not you tell me this and I'm going to do it. Let me do my research. Let me see, is this right for Jackson? Is this right for Grams? Was this right for Darren? Is this right for myself? We may start this, but we may end this too because something like Keppra. Keppra is for seizures. But some kids, it gives you the angries and it makes them.
Right.
So that was one that's starting and ending.
Right.
For Jackson, he was the most mild-mannered kid, but Keppra made him so angry. And because I did this on him every day, I was like, something's wrong with my kid. He's angry. He's upset. Why? What changed? When did this happen?
Check your notes.
Check yourself.
Yeah.
Elevate your care, right?
Right.
And so care plan part 3 is medical necessities. Jackson needed a trach. He had a trach. So that's a necessity. He needed a suction machine. We could not go anywhere without a suction machine.
Right.
So what is the purpose of that? How do you use that? This is so that...
For that training, excuse me, stop. But doing that training to clean it out, was it nervous for you?
No.
It wasn't?
No.
Because I had to go through that training. And, they're like, don't go too far, but don't go, you got to go so far. I was like, man, if I mess this kid up. Because I was actually on a child when I got my training. It wasn't, practice whatever you want to call it. So yeah, it was actually on the child,
Uh-huh.
and I was a nervous wreck because I was scared I was gonna have that tube go too far.
Well, see, probably why is because Jackson came home without a trach first.
Okay.
And so I was using Red Rover, is what they call it. It's like a really long, and I was having to go through his nose and through his mouth.
Oh.
So I already knew how to do this. Now that was shout out to Paige again for coming out on some days. I'm like, I'm just not comfortable yet.
Right.
I don't know how far I need to go. You know, someone just gave me this baby and said, go home. You know?
Right.
And I went home without nursing. And I went home by myself, you know, with 2 medically fragile kids on hospice care. And so I was doing it. I was mama lying it. But one day my mom came over and I was in the corner. I was in the corner and my mom and dad came in and they said, pack it up. You're coming with us. And I'm like, I don't want to leave my home. And they was like, you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Pack it up.
Well, get yourself on over here.
Pack it up. You have family. You don't have to do this by yourself.
Right.
You know, and I'm like, it's not a badge of honor to suffer in silence, you know, or just to suffer, period. You don't have to do this, my child.
Right.
And thank you to my parents for saying, no, pack it up. My dad came over in that Dodge Ram. He said, everything going in his truck. Come on.
Right.
And I didn't want to, you know, but it was the best thing, you know, for us. And they got to see firsthand what it was like for me.
Mm-hmm.
And that, I think, was kind of devastating to them as grandparents, but also, like, my child does this. Like, my parents see me as, oftentimes you may see me sometimes walking around with a Wonder Woman cape, because sometimes everyone calls me like Wonder Woman. My kids are superheroes, right? And so sometimes I have to actually take the cape off and put it down because I don't have to do that every day. You know, I can just be Shantrael. That's good enough. I don't have to be Wonder Woman all the time.
Right.
And so I'm very metaphor. I'm very action based. So I'll put the cape on so I can take it off because Shantrael, you not today, Wonder Woman.
Right.
Just be Shantrael, or just be Mama Lion, or just be Trail, as my family called me.
Yeah.
Or just be wife, or just be still.
Yeah.
Put the cape up.
Yep.
Yeah.
You get somewhere to sit down, lay down, and just have a moment to yourself to recharge and refocus. I get it.
Rest is required.
Yes. Yes.
I had to learn that.
I'm not gonna even look to my right because I know my team member's over there shaking her head, going, "Yes, tell him."
Rest is required.
Yeah. You can see the smile on her face.
Yes, it's a requirement.
Right.
We can't keep showing up like we show up if we're not resting. And it's not because I wanted to do it. It's because my body made me do it. And then I'm like, what is Jackson going to do if something happens to me?
To you, exactly.
And so this is another reason why this is so important, because Jackson was one of my best friends. He was my best friend. He was, I feel like, one of my purpose. And if something was to happen to me, someone needed to be able to pick up and run. His care should never waver because something happened to me.
Right.
And so I built this because in case something happened to me, in case Dad was at the doctor with him and I wasn't, drop it to him because we may not have got to talk or download before they left.
Right.
You know, and so it's very important to just know all of these things. And even with my parents, suction machine, what's the suction machine? You know, like, and what you need to know.
They probably thinking like a little baby. You get the little plastic
like
thing you put in their nose.
No, I'm carrying around weight with this suction machine. I can't go anywhere without this.
Right.
And so even life after, right, is hard because Nolan is a neurotypical kid. And we'll leave the house and we missing stuff. And I'll look at Daryl, he'll look at me, and we'll be like, that's not our life anymore.
Nope. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if someone listening or watching this episode right now feels like life is telling them no, what would you say to encourage them to keep moving forward?
What would I say to encourage them to keep moving forward? Read my blog.
Okay, so where could they find your blog?
My blog is on my website, godsaidnollc.com. But for me, to God be the glory. I have to give him the glory every day. But I draw my inspiration just from my source, and I've been in intensive therapy for 6 years, and my therapist gave me real tools. And so sometimes when I'm feeling overwhelmed, I just breathe. Remember to breathe. And I even have I'm hoping it's not going to go off, alarms for me to intentionally take deep breaths.
Really?
Intentionally pray. I still did things. I still traveled. I still made sure that I lived my life. I didn't give up on me. And that restored me to keep going, because you're running on fumes as a caregiver, and you're not ever going to stop. You're not ever going to stop, and it's never going to be a time that you're going to be at 100%. But recharging is necessary, and for me, that was traveling with my friends, pickleballing.
You're a pickleballer?
I got into pickleball.
Okay.
And I did that because that was just a thing for me. No one knew me as medical mom on the pickleball court. I was just Shantrael, either your teammate or your
They had no idea who they were.
They had no idea.
How you used that to take stress off and all the things. Yeah.
And I lost 70 pounds doing it.
Dig that. Okay.
So, I won a tournament. Shout out to the Dream Factory too.
Okay.
For I work with the Dream Factory. I'm on their volunteer team in the Arc of the Mid-South. I'm on their board of directors, and I just immersed myself in this. And when I see these kids, and I saw Jackson, if they can do this every day, I got it.
You got it.
I got it.
Okay.
So looking at Jackson going through this 1,947 days, and Darren doing this for 6+ years, nah, you got it. You got it, mama.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
So where can anyone find your book?
My book is on elevationofcare.com.
Okay.
You can find it with me at Chris Hope.
We would get into that. She was like, she said that like she would throw a little hint at me. I'm already aware.
You'll find me, and I'll be able to sign it for you. But elevationofcare.com, you can find my book. You can hit me up on Facebook. Sometimes if people really need something, I'm going to give it to them. And so this is needed. So depending upon, let's say I'm going to do this, 5 families that that send me a message, or that can, let's talk. I call myself a hope dealer and a transition coach, because being in this world and just going home with Jackson, I didn't know what I was doing. So I am gifting 5 people this book.
Okay.
And I will even train you on how to use this book.
Okay.
And that's a commitment.
Okay.
Because Jackson was here for 5 years, and 5 is special to me.
Okay. So what she was speaking of, the Giving Hope Bowling Tournament is on April the 11th at Billy Harwick's All-Star Lanes at 10 a.m. and she will be there. She will have a table set up with her book. I'm pretty sure she's gonna have a very nice setup, so you're not gonna miss her. So she's gonna have a book signing. She has signed the book. You can check out the book. You can get the book. You can purchase the book, and so you get to meet her firsthand. Yeah. We'll be sure to get this out this week so people can see it, so they can know exactly who you are once you show up, because we're definitely going to promote it on our end, for sure.
Can I show you my favorite part of the book?
Most definitely. Is it a picture of you?
No.
Okay.
No pictures of me in this book.
Okay.
So self-care is the best care. So as I was telling you, I checked in with myself.
Uh-huh.
And so this is about me first.
Okay.
And so for the caregiver, any caregiver, we do this first. So my stress level is, it's an assignment. So you have to assign yourself a value so you know where you are. Mentally, I feel. You have to give that a word so we know. Spiritually, I feel whatever that is so you know where you are. Emotionally, I feel. I need to know, am I angry? Am I triggered? What am I? Today, emotionally, I feel hopeful. Yeah, I feel hopeful. So physically, I feel, being honest, it's a little tension in my neck and my shoulders, but overall, I'm feeling good. And every day you have a daily affirmation. And so for this day, there is always room for a new beginning. And so every day is a fresh start. And so, what am I grateful for today? Because when you're a caregiver, we need to remain positive and in a good headspace. And so I'm often in gratitude. I wake up in gratitude. And so reflection. That's at the end of the day. How will I improve my well-being? So the first thing you do is you check on yourself. That's part of Evolution of Care. And this is every day. So now I don't really have to do this as much because it's muscle memory because I do it. And so then we elevate care. This is the elevation of care. This is what we do for the person we care for.
Gotcha.
And so this is how I turned Jackson's 72 hours into 1,947 days. So this is what I do. Significant changes. Sleep pattern. Every day I wrote down Jackson's sleep pattern. So if he took a nap for 15 minutes more, I knew it. So when someone asked me, has he been sleeping well? I could go back and look and see what patterns change. How was he doing? Did he sleep well overnight or did he wake up? Did he have night terror that night? Did he desat during the night? I know his sleep patterns. So there was nothing about my children that I was the expert in them. And I wear that like a badge of honor. So I knew everything about him. And this is why eating patterns, like even with a feeding tube, could he tolerate his feed that day? Did he seem satisfied with it? Did he want more?
Right.
Did we need to increase that on a day? Did it seem like he didn't like this flavor of food today? Every day I'm seeing what his eating patterns were, breathing patterns. How is his breathing? Because he had a trach, that can be difficult. He was not on a vent or anything, but suctioning can be too much. Allergy season, what was that like? And this is actually how I knew something was wrong with my son when it was in November when we actually went down that path. Emotional pattern. Jackson had a very calm demeanor, but if he wasn't, I'll see where something's different, and I can go back to, did we change the medicine? What happened? What made you this way? And I actually found out something from him that way. His emotional pattern was changing, and I did a scan on his body every day, and I noticed like he was always upset when I touched his hip. And so at birth, his hips was dislocated, and doctors said it should not cause him pain, but at 5 it started to cause him pain. And because I did this, I knew what was happening.
Wow.
And so physical changes. Jackson had osteopenia, which is because he couldn't move a lot. His bones were very fragile. So I scanned him, and I would know before anybody else if he had a broken bone because I scanned his body. And so a physical change, if it was swelling in this right knee, I knew it. When did it happen? Go back. How long was the swelling? So after
Because
long,
that's when you go to the doctor, those are the questions that they're going to ask,
Yeah.
and you will have all the answers
Yes.
right there without just having to guess. Well, I was thinking maybe around.
yes,
Yeah.
you have it all, and you can tell when it happened. And sometimes but when they ask you questions, brain fog, right?
Exactly.
And so you have this, and so this is lifeless. What does this have to offer? Daily challenges, mental downloads.
Well, before you move forward,
Yeah.
the previous page, this page right here,
Yes.
I think everybody
Yes,
need to
needs
have
this.
this page, like treat it like a journal.
Yes,
I think
this
everybody
is
need
what-
that
yes,
page because
yes.
I'm looking at it and I'm thinking to myself, "Ooh, boy, I know what my answers will be for
Yeah,
today."
yeah.
Especially like the physical. How do I feel,
Yeah.
man? I feel tired. I feel like I was born in '68. I feel like a '68 Chevy. I'm having a hard time getting started. My motor ain't kicking
Yeah,
in
so
good.
what do
Yeah.
you need? You can check yourself. What do I
Right.
need? Do I
Right.
need more rest? Do I need more hydration?
Right. Right.
Drink some water because you're tired.
Cheers.
So yes, it's elevating care for the total.
Right.
It's a village
Right.
that Jackson survived based off our village, and I built this to not just for me, but for his nurses to have this.
Right.
We went to the hospital, emergency care. I got emergency care in here. What's happening? Because you need to know who Daryl may take him to the hospital, not me, so he can use this. And it's like arrival, date, department, doctor, nurse, who we talking to, because so many people are moving.
Right.
Get the name, because when I come and you got to go eat, somebody's going to come in here and I need to know who you're talking to.
Right.
Surgeries and procedures, tests and results. My chart hated to see me coming because I knew the results before the doctor knew the results. So I'm doing it. The situation, all of this, and let me just let everybody know this is copyrighted. So and trademarked.
Don't even try it.
So don't try.
Don't even try it. There you go. There you go. Well, I'm excited about it. I think what you have created here is incredibly awesome, and I'm very shocked nobody has come up with it beforehand. Me personally, I think this is something, when you have a kid said checking in for long-term care, that this should be something provided to them
Yes.
at that point.
Yes.
Because like you said, I mean, it's fast paced.
Yes. Even getting out of palliative care when you get out of the hospital, if
Come
you
close to the mic.
NICU, like if you had a NICU stay, you need to go home with this.
You're right.
St. Jude. If you're at St. Jude, the Chris Hope House, the Target House, you need this.
Right.
Families
Right.
need
They do.
this.
They do.
I'm
gonna even go a step further. Not only for a child, but for an adult too.
Yes, when I said grams, I use this on my grandmother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've come up with something
Yes.
pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
you.
And I'm super proud of you because you have been through a lot.
Yeah.
And there are not many people who can tell that story. They can talk about one child. I think you're the second person that I have met who has lost their children at a young age. The other one lost to cancer, both of them to cancer, and I think they passed a year apart, if I'm not mistaken. So yes. So once again, tell everyone where they can find your book.
You can find my book on elevationofcare.com. And you can find it at Billy Hardrick April 11th. And I will
April 11th, yes.
purposely sign it for you on Elevation of Care. You can even get a coaching session with me where I can go through this with you
Awesome.
and train. My goal is to work with LeBonner and St. Jude and teach parents how to do this when you get ready to leave the hospital and we're doing training classes.
Right.
This should be a part of going home.
Right. I mean, when you have all these different specialists who come in to sell word or two,
Right.
you should be able to come in and
Yes.
say, hi, just want to introduce you to this book, and blah, 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 and explain what, its purpose is.
Yes.
So, yeah, I think that's a marvelous idea. So if they wanted to get in touch with you,
Yes.
how do they do that?
You can get in touch with me. My phone number, and I'll give it to you. It's 901-564-7912. But you can email me at Shantrael at GodSaidNoLLC.com. You can go to GodSaidNoLLC.com. You can hit up my team, Chantelsa, Bo, Bonita.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, They not gonna care about them. They're gonna want to talk to you.
But that's how you get to me.
That's
you
how
know,
you
you
get
get to me through them.
You got to talk to her people.
You got to talk to my people because I've been through a lot, though.
Yeah.
You know, and they hold space for me, right? Because I can't take on everything sometimes.
Right.
And they check with me. They're checking this as they practice this, so they know where I am in a space. It's only been 3 months. 4 months since Jackson passed. So today may not be a good day.
Right.
And so
you might need a digital version of that check-in so they can say, okay, she woke up here and this is how she feel here. They have
the digital
okay.
version.
Okay. I was like,
versions on
no, we ain't gonna call her right now. We gonna wait till after 2:00 to call her.
No, but they know they have complete access to me and complete access to me. My village has been with me, and I'm a shout out to Shantrael Taylor. She rocked with me with Darren. She was Darren's caregiver, and I trust her with my life.
Okay.
And because I trust her with my kids' life.
Okay.
And so no one was more important to me than my children. So if I trusted you with them, I can trust me with you. And so shout out to my team because they keep me grounded. My village keeps me going. And when I don't have anything to give, they pour back into me. And so I write a blog every week. And I have YouTube videos that come out pretty frequently.
Okay, where can they find this? The blogs and the YouTube videos.
My blog's on www.godsaidnollc.com. Join my tribe, and you'll get the email when my blog posts. But you'll get a blog from me every Sunday. Right now, my series that I'm doing is Grief from the Valley. Yeah, part 4, Grief from the Valley, and what does that look like? And this week I talked about trauma showing up in your body and how you can still hold space for yourself, but you can go forward in healing. And so I'm also writing a book. It's copyrighted too, so don't try to take this. Because, we're losing the kids, right? And so when I lost my children and chaplains come and I'm like, I need something. What do you have? And they give you something. I'm like, I can't use this, And so I've created something that parents, grandparents, you read someone's real experiences on how did I survive this, and what do you need to do? You need to take care of you, and just practice this muscle memory every day. Do it every day. We just can't do this one time.
Right.
It's something you got to do, and you build this muscle. Trust the people you trust, lean into it, and just take care of yourself, and minute to minute, That's how I've been doing it. You can check us out on Facebook, God Said No on Facebook, TikTok, Shantrael GSN on TikTok, Instagram, God Said No.
All the platforms.
Yeah, all the platforms. Elevation of Care is on all those platforms, but my favorite is YouTube and Facebook. But go look at my blog and read it and talk to me, comment, share.
There it is.
I talk back.
And like and subscribe.
Yes, and I talk back.
Yes.
I talk back. You leave me a comment, leave me a message. You can leave me a message, join my tribe, and we can talk, And this is my purpose, actually. This is what God said. This is what I'm doing.
Right.
This is my movement. This is who I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so April 11th, be the Harvick's All-Star Borderline at the Giving Hope Golf Tournament. She will be there, and we need you to come and be a part of the tournament and get this book where she will autograph it herself.
Yes, let's bowl.
Let's bowl.
Let's raise some money for Chris Hope Foundation.
Yes. Well, thank you for being a part of the show. I appreciate you. I'm glad that we had the opportunity to talk about everything that has gone on in your life, and of course talk about your book. And I think this is something that a lot of people, individuals and families could take advantage of for sure. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. that is it for the Chris Hope Show, this special edition. Be sure to like, subscribe. As Revo would say, hit that subscribe button to be on all things as far as the Chris Hope Show, because this is one episode I think you will truly enjoy. Thank you so much.
I had a great time. Thank you for having me.
All right, no problem. All right, y'all take care. We'll catch you on the next time.
Bye.